Hi there, Robin here, and welcome to the Happy Infectious Faces project. Today I want to chat a bit about what people ask me the most at this point, and I will be working on this Happy Infectious Face on my art desk. But first, I need to have a bit of a think. I want to think about what I have to say to you today. I want to say it well. I love this view. Okay, I'm ready. My most asked questions are how to draw or paint, and how did I get good at creating art? The most important thing about getting good at art is practice, practice, practice. This is a simple answer. Everyone hates saying it, and everyone hates hearing it. There is not an easy way about anything. Artists might have talent, but there is not a magic wand that suddenly makes you into a good artist. Good art takes work. The problem for people is that they want to do art today, they're impatient, and they want to be making masterpieces because good artists make it look really easy. But people forget how long it took them to learn to walk, to learn to talk, to be socially appropriate, and to learn right from wrong, etc. It took more than a few days to learn those skills. So let's take a little bit closer look at practice, 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 because this implies repetition without learning. Think about doing the same thing over and over again, never changing anything, never learning anything, and isn't that the definition of insanity? By Albert Einstein. This means that there are a few key points about practicing that needs to be included and will improve your learning over time, so you don't go down the road of this uselessness of insane repetition. This is the real answer with practice, practice, practice. The first is to draw what is there, not what you think is there. Now this seems silly to say, and I've said it before. When you draw what is there, your observation skills will get better. So think of yourself as a child. We look at the face, and in our brains, we highlight or focus on the most important features, but from a below point of view. We're lying down because we're looking up. That is why most of us don't realize the major proportions of the face and head. The face is halfway down the head and all in one kind of location. A child will draw a circle of the face, then draw the eyes, nose, and mouth, sometimes ear and hair, but not include the top of the back of the head, because from the below point of view of the face, with a person looking down, you're getting those major features. So it's really normal and a realistic point of view if you think about it. When you are observing more later on, and you get taller because you grow, and start looking at the world from a different perspective and learning basic anatomy of your subject, you realize what you're missing. You realize something's wrong with that. It's because you have a different point of view. So you might start like this. I'm going to use faces as my subject because I can, but these observations can be adapted to whatever subject you wish. There is a certain face shape for every face, and there are different distances and sizes and proportions of features specific from face to face, and etc. And of course, we have to start with the commonalities of all human faces. And there is a basic formula to the face that we work from that we as most artists follow. And if you don't use them, your faces will look alien and strange. So stop right here for a second. Some people will say that if a painting is strange, like when you draw a face and it looks like an alien, they'll say, that's my style. But here's my question. Is that your style, or is that your skill and knowledge level? Because if you're doing that because you can't and giving excuses instead, right? You'd be amazed at how many artists say they can't draw, and they can't draw the body or the face, and especially draw the hands and feet. Now, this is just a thought and a little brain worm to think about. It's also just my point of view. It's just saying this is my observation. Now, it's okay to draw like a child, but add with the knowledge of an adult. Then make informed and skilled choices. Now, I love this kind of art the best. It's my personal choice and it's my preference. I'm not snubbing other artists. I'm just asking questions. So let's delve further. One option is to start by bringing up the standard face formula and expanding on it. So what I mean by that is finding the difference for the individual that are unique to them, and then you notice how much your painting starts to look like them. We all want to make our paintings look like who we want them to. Here's another way to get better at art, is to look for general shapes of the drawing subject and then break it down into smaller and smaller shapes. For example, the pear-shaped nose, they might have almond-shaped eyes and a peach-shaped face. Then add to the exercise. So let's start connecting the shapes with relationships. So for example, their wonderful eyes are almond-shaped. That is the shape you've identified. Now there are 5 eye widths across the face, the head from one side to the other, and so on. So you now have the relationships of the eyes to the head. And then that will make your painting or your picture look more uniform to that face. So keep to the general human proportion, but find the differences from person to person, because that face is unique and it helps you to find their differences. Our brains are amazing for doing assuming, and where you can say it makes an ass of you and me could be well used here. Our brains will fill in gaps to make sense of something. I think that in art this can be interesting, but gaps in art create or can create tension and unease. Makes sometimes a question a little more uncomfortable or a question more present. And if that's what you're going for, it's great. But is this again by the choice of limitation of skills of the artist, or is it a knowledgeable choice? Choice is a big difference than you can't do something. It's huge. And you can see it too. So I like to train my brain not to fill in empty gaps as an observer, but deal with those gaps as an artist. I want to address them and I want to see what they really are regardless. I don't want my brain filling in and assuming. So I do exercises like this. I'll use my pencil or a writing tool or my finger or something else as a measuring start place. And then I will use that to find relationships. Here's how I go about it. I'll notice that half my pencil is half the size of someone's face. And then that same length happens to be from the eyes to lips, and so on. Ancient masters practiced this also because assuming and brain gap filling and lack of observation was not enough for them. They wanted to learn more about our reality and what is really there. I actually play with my pencil and comparison measurement tools as a game, and I play this game when I'm bored in my daily life, or I might be in a park, for example, or having coffee or something, and then I start noticing things. So this is practicing without creating art, but it is practicing observing, honing this skill. So I might go to a park and I'll see a pigeon, and how is the pigeon shaped? Well, it might be bean shaped, but with the peanut on top for a head. Now it might be lined up with the width of a brick, and then maybe that is 3 bricks away from my feet, and so on. So yes, practice, 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 but every time you practice, you learn something. It might be measured relationships, or different from standard face formula, or shapes, or whatever exercise you like. Learning or discovery is the point of art, relying on the brain and mind and body to create, exploring with those relationships. Learning doesn't always mean just drawing, however. Maybe the learning might be the medium or the surface you're working with. Different medium will help to freshen your brain for a new task. It is observing with a different experience or a change of point of view. Like the journey is different from walking, from riding a bike or riding a boat or driving a car. The experience is different and it will teach you something different. So sometimes using a new medium fires different neurons to help you learn. And it creates a different perspective and increase the depth of your artistic expression. So that is one of the reasons why artists might use lots of different mediums and or combinations. So yes, it is pleasurable for the challenge of a new art supplies, and it's maybe the new medium, or it's how they look so beautiful. But it's also having a fresh perspective and learning experience. Each piece of art is an opportunity to grow. Learning is psychological and it is a big, huge thing. There are many studies supporting and assisting for the understanding of learning, and this includes art to assist the learning. Better learning and understanding of why you want to learn, your motivation, or how badly you want to learn, and many other factors influence your art and how quickly you learn. Practicing without growth is just repetition. However, you will get better much faster when you learn and understand what you're learning. Problem solving, answers to questions. Then you will start to understand the why of masterpieces of art and how to create them, and why to respect them, and why they are important, and how they affect history, and how they affect art right now, and perspective of the moment of life right now. So if you ask me how I got better, I will give you the easy answer. Practice, practice, practice. But do you want the real answer? Or do you want the easy one? If you like this video, please let me know in the comments below, and consider liking and subscribing the channel for more about art and such. Thank you for watching.